Okay, same day, September 23rd, 2019. We're going to try something different with the same picture. The first thing I want you to notice is the point of her shoulder here to the point of her shoulder over here. In proportion to her body, ShaMay was not that big, people. Okay? She was not that wide in the shoulder, because ShaMay is severely bloated underneath this blanket. Okay? And what I want you to notice, though, is the machines. I'm going to look at the machines here. So here's the machines. They got a whole bunch of machines here. I'm assuming you can see this up in here. This camera has these lines that go through it, and it has the time of the video and how much battery, and so I can't see everything as clearly as I'd like to see it with this screen. Anyway, we've got another one over here with a bag of something hanging there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at least 8 bags up in here. Maybe you can't see that. Hold on a minute. I have this on a book so that I don't move the camera around so much. So here's the machine, and then the bags are up here. Right. And then when they turned off a machine, it was somewhere down in here. They turned off. So anyway, let's just zoom in and see what we can see. This is without the editor basically zooming in for me. This is pretty much the original picture. Okay, anyway. This starts to get touchy for me. I start to see little squiggly lines for whatever reason. Jeez, oh jeez. See, I have to hold it. I have to hold it. These are their little IV bags. I can't read it. And then there's another one up in there. What is that? Blood? I'm just moving my arm, it's just rubbing up against something. Whatever it is, it glows. Can you see that? You get close to it. Yeah. If you're not interested in these videos, you don't have to watch. Something is there. Step. Do you see that bump? Because their skin is going to the right as you're facing us. All right. It's called plasticity. It starts to get all gooey. Now, why we didn't notice that before, I don't know. Right? But clearly something is there. And when I look at it now that now that I looked at it and seen it with the camera, like last time, I'm noticing it now. Where before, when I was just looking at the picture by itself without doing it this way, people, I didn't notice it. But here you can clearly see it. Hold on. Let's see if I can... It's right there. I don't want to touch my screen too much, right? It picks up the pixels. If I turn the camera, I notice that these little squares aren't as noticeable sometimes. I'm just going to zoom in and see what happens. It doesn't like it. Will it adjust? I'm just giving it a second to see if it adjusts anything. No. See, you can see that bump. I'll go this way. And even on a chin, you can see the, just, do you see that, people? I'm just moving the camera in closer. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to let it play for a second. And then, because I cropped it, we'll look there again from a different perspective. Stop there. I'll bring this back out. From this viewpoint, you don't see it. Now it's blending in. Oh my. These are getting a little more closer. Looks like a light. Now I don't see that bag up at top because that would have to come in from a different crop point, right? I wasn't cropping off that bag of red whatever. You can see how her skin is falling this way because her head is on a slight angle, right? It's on a slight angle. And because of that and the plasticity and the skin slippage, it's going this way. And here, she's getting that gel. What's that? This camera doesn't like, it's like looking into the sun. It doesn't like this too much because it's flashing on me. Not reflecting back very good. What is that? So what I'm doing is I'm zooming out, but I'm bringing the camera in closer to so that we don't see all those little squares. Because the closer I bring in the camera, it starts to pick up the squares and how a computer screen is made. Alright. But if you notice me doing it this way, it's coming out to be a little more fine-tuned. You can kind of distinguish what you're looking at there in terms of tubing and stuff, right? And then what you do is after you convert your video or whatever, you freeze frame certain parts of what you're interested in looking at. All right. And if you notice, they have her completely covered up because they wanted to hide the fact that she looked like a beach whale. All right. I'm curious to know what's in her hair. Okay. I seen a blister on her chin too. I don't know if this will pick it up. See, then you start getting into those pixels again, right? Those little squares. That's her jugular vein swelling. You can see this swelling, but I got a picture that shows better than that. All right. Okay. Okay, that's as far as I've zoomed so far. I can zoom in again. I guess the best thing that I can do, people, is probably spend a few days, 1 to 2, 3 days on each picture and then backtrack. Look how goofy they got her hair looking. Look at that. Like really goofy. I guess they thought it made her look cute. See that? Where did it go? There it is. It's a little white dot. Do you see it? It's right there. But when I come in close, you really just start to see those little pixels, right? The squares. I don't know what they're called. I'm just trying to change the angle of the computer so it may be, oops, panning too fast. I'm panning too fast. There it is. Do you see it? Let's zoom out. Go back in without zooming. I'm not zooming, I'm just pushing the camera lens right into the computer screen. Obviously the camera doesn't like it. Right? Oh. Okay, hold on. So I'm going to add this in with what I'm going to convert. What I want you to look at... Oh my, I lost my pencil already. I don't know if you can see it. This right here. If I go a little closer, you can see it's rounded. Can you see how it's rounded, people? But when I bring it back from the screen, because of the way the computer screen reads, I'm almost very curious to know, like, you know the old computer screens with the big backs? I'm almost curious to know how they would present the picture versus these slim screens. Do you see the circle, people? Right here. Okay. I'm wondering if I should use... No, I don't got a flashlight. Hold on a minute. What would happen... What would happen if I put a light on it? Can you see it? Okay, because where it's dark, that's supposedly her eyelashes, so you can't see nothing. There's the inside of her nose, so you can't see nothing. But why would you see a circle there if there was nothing there? There's something there. All right. I'm just going to turn the computer on very quickly and turn it right back off. There it is. Yeah, no denying that. You see that, eh? No, you can't see it. So if I bring it back, where am I? I don't go too far. Oh God. Now I'm up in her hair. I missed it. That's her jugular vein swelling. You can see the swelling, but I got a picture that shows better than that. Okay, we're going to come up into that area again in a minute. Hold on. All right. I'm looking in her hair. Looking in her hair. And then I notice it. There it is. Where is it? It's right there. Right there. That's a blister, people. And because the color of it is different than the rest of her skin, that's why we can see past those lines. It's just coming in into the frame right there. You'll see it come to frame. It's right in here. You can see it take shape. Where is it? It's right there. It's rounded. Right? And because it's a layer upon a layer, it's not getting filtered out. You're seeing it because of just the way, I guess, pixels work. Because I would think these are pixels, right? There it is, right there. You can't tell me you can't see that. It's right there. See? Right in here. Because it's not flush. And then I move on. Okay. Oh yeah, and before we get too far into it, for when I'm using this camera, because I have another camera, only it's a 20 times zoom, so I don't know. I'll pull out that one too, just to see what the resolution is on it. But remember I told you this one had a flaw? Well, there's the flaw right there. Just so that there's no confusion. It goes in and out of the video because it's something to do with the camera itself as it records. And it's always down there, okay? It's not up in here. So I'm not trying to mislead the public by some flaw that's in the camera itself. So if you see this, and I'm making no reference to it, it's because this is the flaw in this particular camera. That's why I went off and bought a different camera, but then that camera wasn't any better either. It's more blurry than this one, so I settled for this one for now. So if you go, you know, you turn it on, and you can see it moving, right? It's moving within the actual, see, you can see it, right? And then it will just go out.
How goofy they
see, now it's gone out. Well, no, there it is. Okay, so this is the flaw. So if I make no reference to this, don't think that this is something, okay? This is nothing, all right? I'm well aware of that. I just wanted to point that out, right? You see, for some reason, it goes in and it's
really
intermittent, right? It's intermittent. See, it went off and came back in.
I guess they thought it made her look cute.
All right. See, now you don't even see it. So, like, where did it go? Well, like, I don't know what it was. But anyway, again, I work with what I have, right? There is one other thing I did want to mention, because when you come in on a different angle with these things, let me find it and I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay. It's right up in here. Same kind of idea. It's I'm not sure what it is. Let's see if we can get it a little more fine-tuned. See, there's lines going with the computer here. But what we're looking at, maybe if I come in closer, you'll see, you know, you can slightly see it here, slightly. Because there's something there that's been hidden. Do you see? Right in there. And of course these little lines don't help, right? I don't know. This is not easy, people.